here at Find the Way, and I have Dara Takenaka Fraser joining me. Thanks so much for being here.
Such an honor, Ashley, to be in the ring with you.
See, that's our common ground, right?
Yeah.
Both love martial arts.
Yes.
You have a phenomenal story, Dara, and you were raised in a pretty strict home.
Mm-hmm. My dad was a martial artist all his life. My mom was a praying warrior, but my dad was the one who pretty much carried us through.
It was tough.
She worked nights, yeah.
Now, you talk about in your life the road to Damascus, your Damascus moments to be exact, and I thought that was really interesting. Mm-hmm. Can you share with people some of those moments and what that's looked like in your life?
Yeah, I've had many growing up, but of recent, as an adult, I think the Damascus moments, one of them had to be a divorce out of my own volition, for my own reasons, and not, even though I rededicated my life to Christ, I sort of walked and everything had to be under did my own thing.
Why did you want a divorce?
You know, selfish reasons. It was all me. It was completely me.
Were you unhappy?
No, there was nothing to be unhappy about. It was just me. I wanted to march to the beat of my own drum.
And so what happened? You got a divorce, and did that leave you with a sense of satisfaction in life?
No, it didn't. And I lived quite a number of years very miserable, trying to do things my way, and thought that God had actually forsaken me because I made a choice to divorce, despite the blessing that He gave me.
That's a common thought, right? If we do something wrong, then maybe God's going to punish us, or we have to live and deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure left you with a lot of guilt and shame.
The guilt and the shame was unbelievable, but what overcame that was the blessing. God blessed me with another man who was steadfast, and his feet were planted on solid rock, and that was something that hit me the first time, because I thought that I would never either remarry again, or I would just not be happy with whoever I
So the situation changed. Now, you had some other moments that you've talked about in your life, and
3 walls and vertical bars will do something to you.
A prison cell.
Yeah, those walls speak to you. And if anybody has sat in prison for even just a short time, if you just cry out and ask those walls to speak to you, they will.
You would think, Dara, hearing some of this prison, divorce, going through these difficult circumstances, God must have gripped your heart at that point, and you must have been trusting Him then. Is that the case?
I would say rededicate my life and surrendering my life are two different things. No, that didn't happen.
Didn't do it.
No, in fact, this other moment, which is taking a wrong turn to a wrong church, is what actually changed my life and made me surrender. We ended up taking a wrong turn to the Way Church, actually, and we did that change because we really wanted to plug our kids into a church, into church.
So you take a wrong turn, you end up at this church. So talk to us a little bit about how did that experience then build trust in your heart?
Well, it ended up being that I stepped up and became youth leader of all people. who would take me as a youth leader?
You were the most skilled to do that.
Well, no. It's definitely become a passion of mine because we started off with 5 kids. 3 of them being my kids and 2 being other congregational kids. And we had to pray over empty chairs, and I had to watch. I got to watch the God's work move. And when I realized that I couldn't do it myself, and I had something to show for my kids, because Mom wasn't going to be proved wrong. Like, 5 kids, how are we going to have a youth group? That really took a turn in my faith, watching God grow this group from 5 kids to 45 kids in a year.
Wow. So you have this mantra that you say. Share it with everybody what it is.
All of Him and none of me. And let me just tell you, that mantra carries on now after I've had recently 8 surgeries, and 3 of them major and 5 of them minor. Nonetheless, it was quite a roadblock in my life. And most people question me and say, well, that must have really, really grown your faith to come out of it. And I thought, no, I was at complete peace. There is a difference between rededicating your life and surrendering wholeheartedly. And I just believe that God timed it perfectly, because had I not surrendered just prior to my diagnosis, I don't think I would have gone through these surgeries with a peace.
You say that word surrender. What does that actually mean?
My mantra. Aren't you listening, Ashley? All of him, none of me. It just.
But how did you come to believe that in your heart?
I looked back and I thought, even me, God has love for me. After everything that I have done, after everything that you'd think that God would be disappointed in me. But no.
That's actually so critical, right? When we live with that sense of God's not happy with me, he's not pleased, if we think he's disappointed, then we can't really embrace and walk out his love in our life.
Yeah.
And so it was really coming to believe that love and surrendering.
That's right. And that's why when people say, oh, how are you doing? Like, you've gone through so much. And I just think, like, it's nothing. It's nothing, because I've got such a peace. And those words where, God is good. Like, I sometimes want to just be like, God is really good. Don't you understand? God is good.
Shake people and
Would
say
I have
it's
ever
true.
said this a while back? No, not until I surrendered my life, because I didn't really see God work.
It's the power in coming to believe that Jesus is actually enough.
Yeah.
Actually enough for your situation.
Yeah.
And it's not the situation. It's, in fact, his love in your life.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Dara, for joining us today on the show and for sharing your story and your moments, your powerful moments, and just that journey to trust him. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
We're going to be back in just a moment, and we're going to tie together all of these pieces from Dara's story to Psalm 23. Mike's going to be here, and he's going to bring us some concluding thoughts.